Hey guys, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for yet another speed build. And if you are brand new, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you decide to stay tuned for the entire video today, or at least in the meantime, save me in your queue or hit that subscribe button. Also, if any of you are watching and you want to see some of my other builds, maybe this build isn't totally for you, I have lots of other builds on the Sims 4 gallery. So my EAID is ashleyyangelinaa with 2 Y's and 2 A's at the end of Angelina. Or if you just want to go check out some of my screenshots over on Instagram, my name is also ashleyyangelinaa with 2 Y's and 2 A's at the end of Angelina. But let's get into today's build. So for today's build, this is a bungalow style home again. Are we surprised? If we are one of the returning viewers I mentioned earlier, you know I love a good bungalow home. And for this week's build, I don't know what it was, but I was not in the mood to build. And to be quite honest, I wasn't really in the mood to even play Sims. So what I had to do was I had to go on Pinterest. I think I started off on Google, but then I realized Pinterest is the way to go. I might be a little late to the bandwagon here. I don't know what it is, but just Pinterest sometimes the app confuses me. I don't know. I think it's because I just don't use it that much. But honestly, that's where a lot of good stock photos are. And I think I'm kind of leaning a little bit more away from following floor plans and blueprints, which is what a lot of Pinterest provides when it comes to looking up home inspo and things like that. But basically, I went off of a reference photo, and I'm pretty sure I found this picture on Pinterest. So we are actually building on Daisy Hovel today. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I could be completely wrong, but you never hear anyone say these names, you know what I mean? At least I've never heard anyone from the Sims team, talk about any of these lots before. And some of them have interesting names, and I kind of want to know the backstory on some of these names. If any of you know how to pronounce the name, or if any of you know a backstory or anything along those lines, I'd love to find out. But we're building on this lot. It is in Willow Creek. Once again, I didn't look up the name of the neighborhood because neighborhoods, I'm so glad that they added neighborhoods though, because it just makes most sense that way. But either way, we're building here today, and today's build is going to be a 3 generations home. So there's going to be a master, well actually it's not really a master bedroom, but there's going to be a double bed downstairs where I envisioned that the grandparents or a grandparent will be living, and then upstairs there's 1 master bedroom, and then there is 1 bedroom. And if you were paying attention to the build, there's kind of this interesting little shape. It's like a portion of an octagon, I guess. It's not a full-blown octagon, but it's like if you cut an octagon in half, kind of, and it's off to the right side of the front of the house, if you're looking at the front. I'm making it more confusing than it needs to be, but either way, that's where a child's bedroom is going to be. Well, I guess it's actually a toddler bedroom, because the only thing about this build is I am not quite sure how you're going to fit a larger bed in that room. So you can definitely fit, a single bed in there. There's just not going to be much space for your sim to really do many activities. You could probably keep the bookcase in there that I end up placing. You might be able to keep a chair in there. But other than that, you can't really do many skill building activities in that bedroom. And that's my only regret really about this. And also that if you were to move in, a family of your own that is going kind of, the multiple generations route to live here, then you can really only have space for 1 kid, or you can completely bulldoze the upstairs and figure out your own floor plan without moving the stairs to just make things way less complicated. That would be the only complaint that I have toward myself. I'm filing a complaint toward myself because I just kind of screwed it up. But at the same time, I feel like if you are playing, say you're playing with 2 grandparents and 2 parents and a toddler, that's already 5 Sims. And personally, I don't like playing with more than 5 Sims, especially if they have pets. And this build does allow for a cat. I end up placing a cat scratcher right here, as well as a cat litter box, and you will see later I completely forget to place a food bowl, but it does make it into the actual gallery build, and it doesn't make it into screenshots though. I realized once I had already edited this video and gotten it ready that there was no pet bowl in the screenshots, but honestly it's just a little pet bowl. I end up placing it over here in this little dining section, and it's really not that big of a deal, so it's just a little. And I do actually end up placing a toddler's high chair in this portion of the build as well, and it's actually attached to the table. I know sometimes, I'm sure other builders do this, but I don't always like to put it at an actual table. I'll kind of put it off to the side because I feel like even if you know, have your baby or your toddler interested in food and eating with you at the table and things like that, I feel like they're still like not right up, like butted up against the table. I feel like sometimes they're just more off to the side of the table, you know. So anyway, I do end up attaching it. I'm getting way too far into detail as I do per usual. I go off on these rants, and we already did the entire living room and we're starting the kitchen, and I haven't really talked too much about this build. I mean, I guess I have a little bit, but anyway, I am putting together the kitchen right now. I wanted to make it seem like maybe this is more of the grandparents' home than the actual parents of the toddler that live here, even though well, at least this is how I decorated it, and this is kind of how I intended for it to be. I intended for the grandparents to have the bedroom downstairs. I feel like a lot of times in reality, there will be grandparents that live downstairs just because it's not always super safe for them to be walking up the stairs, and it's just easier, and it kind of makes more sense to have the parents be on the same floor as their toddler. You know, maybe your toddler wakes up in the middle of the night from a nightmare. You don't want them going into the grandparents' bedroom and waking everyone up. They may as well wake up the parents and just let the grandparents have their rest downstairs. You know what I'm saying? So they end up having the bedroom downstairs. It is a little bit tight. I noticed that when I had my playtesting sim come here, I only playtest with a single sim, but for whatever reason, my sim gets into the double bed down here, down in the grandparents' bedroom, and he scoots over. So basically, if you're like hovering above the bed and you're like, the pillows are up toward the wall, the sim gets in on the left side of the bed and then scoots over to the right. I'm pretty sure I made just enough space for the sim to walk around just directly to the right side of the bed, but apparently not. But it seems like almost instantly the sim just decides to scoot over. So you should be able to have two sims here like I intended. But there ends up being, I think, just like a bed, a dresser, a standing mirror, a couple of paintings, some curtains, and I think I end up decorating the top of the dresser with just some candles. And I think it ends up looking very I was gonna say elderly, but like in a cute way. Like you could totally have an adult sim living in that bedroom too, but to me, I was definitely going more toward grandparents, which is the whole point of it all. But since we're kind of like popping in and out of the laundry room a little bit here, I was a little bit scattered when I was decorating, because at this point in the speed build, I had just started, like this was actually like my second day of filming, and a lot of the times I will film during my lunch break at work, so I only have, like 45 minutes, and then I have to stop, and then I'll pick it up the next day, or I'll pick it up later that night, like when I get home and whatever. So sometimes I get a little scattered. I'll have to stop, in the middle of decorating a room. But since we were in the laundry room, like back and forth a little bit, I ended up having to change the laundry room because my sim was not able to reach the dryer because of where I placed the hamper. So I do end up stacking the washer and dryer. Therefore, I get rid of that like little wall shelf with the hangers on them. I think those are from laundry day. So I end up getting rid of that. That room ends up being very plain. I don't think I put anything on the walls because I kind of like quickly changed that room after I realized it wasn't functioning properly. And to be honest, it's a laundry room. Your sim isn't going to spend much time in there. And if you don't have the laundry day pack, I think I do place quite a few laundry day items here, but if for whatever reason you decide to download this and you don't have the laundry day pack, you know, you'll probably turn that room into something else, or you'll extend the kitchen back a little bit, or you'll extend the bathroom. I don't know, but either way, I just didn't feel the need to decorate the laundry room very much because I don't know. It's a laundry room. It's nothing too fancy. You best believe when I have a home though, like I'm going to make my laundry room like kind of cute, but like your Sims don't need it, you know. Half the time I feel like they don't even want to do laundry. You know, it's just something you kind of have to force them to do, especially once their laundry basket starts filling up and there's clothes all over their house and like outside their house, and you know, it's just something that they have to do. It's like real life. Sometimes you just got to do the things that you don't want to do. But either way, we are upstairs in the master bedroom, and I end up making this room a bit darker in color. I don't end up changing any of the wallpaper in the bedrooms. Well, yeah, I don't even think I changed it in the kids' bedroom. The only one I changed it in was the grandparents' bedroom downstairs, and to be honest, it's because I forgot. I'm not gonna lie to you, I definitely forgot, which is so funny because I changed like all the other wallpapers except for the bedrooms upstairs. Like, so silly, but the master bedroom ends up being very dark in color when it comes to like furniture and linens and things. So it's very purple and black, and I end up placing a couple of deserty photos in their room. I don't know, maybe they used to live in Strangerville or they used to live in Oasis Springs and then they moved here because maybe this is where, you know, the grandparents lived and they decided to move into the grandparents' home to help take care of them, or for them to like help raise their toddler. You know, maybe both the parents work full-time jobs and they need the extra help, and you know, the grandparents want to be more involved now that they have, you know, a grandchild. So I don't know, we can kind of like make up the story as we go, or you know, you guys can move in whoever you want. I'm honestly probably not gonna move anyone in here just yet. I feel like in a lot of my builds, I tell you guys like, oh, you know, I have the perfect household to live here, like, which is true. A lot of the times I don't have to go through Create a Sim and place people, and I love that because then I'm able to just kind of play with my same Sims all the time. You know, my favorite families have, you know, really good friends, or they have extended family like cousins and grandparents, and I can move them into the homes that I'm building for you guys, that's intended for you guys, and it's just kind of more fun that way. But we are finishing up the toddler bedroom right now. I envisioned that this would be more of a bedroom suited for a little boy, or it could be like a little tomboy. I don't know. I didn't really think about it too much. I just knew I wanted a toddler to be here because, to be honest, I just didn't see myself fitting like a normal sized bed here, which I know again kind of like sucks because it's like, well then when the kid ages up, then what are we gonna do? You know, we're gonna have like zero space. But at the same time, you know, the backyard ends up being pretty spacious. I end up placing a little kiddie pool back here, a real pool, and I end up placing a little like the little toddler slide back here as well. So there's still plenty of room to like switch things up once your child or once your toddler ages up to a child. There's plenty of things that you can like switch out and whatnot. I'm placing down some debug fences because I didn't think I would be able to really fit a proper fence back here with how close I ended up placing this little like trailer next to the home. I kind of pictured that this was that this is the grandparents' home, and maybe they used to travel a ton, or maybe they still do. Maybe they like to go camping, and they like to go camping with, you know, the family that lives here, whether it's their son or their daughter that lives here with their partner and their grandkid. And I've never actually placed one down in a build, and I've been wanting to so badly because, especially after COVID, I feel like you see so many trailers and RVs outside people's houses because that's all people could really do for the longest time was, you know, come up with a vacation where you can be outside away from other people and you can just spend time with your family and with nature and not really have to worry about getting sick. And so I feel like I just really wanted to incorporate that, and one of these days I really want to place down the more like Airstream looking one. It's like more modern. It looks like kind of like a steel tube almost, but it still looks so good at the same time because that sounds like not cute, but it it is cute in reality. I would love to have an Airstream one day. Oh my gosh. So maybe one of these days I'll build like my dream home and then I'll place an Airstream out there, because let's be honest, that would be part of my dream build. If I'm like picturing my home in the future, there's like a trailer outside with a Toyota 4Runner. I don't know. It's just a dream that I have, you guys. But I'm so sorry. I've completely like ranted and like haven't really talked much about this build this entire time, and I think it's just because it's so early in the morning, and this is just the first time I'm like using my voice today, and so I'm a very talkative person, and so I'm just going like totally off kind of a bit whoa, oh my gosh. See, this is why you need to warm up before you do voiceovers. But now I'm just placing some outdoor lights, just trying to figure out how to kind of make this build look a little more lively and not so bare in the front. And I wanted to do, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I was talking about the debug fence. That's where I'm like, where did I go wrong? Where did I go off on this tangent? I placed on the debug fence and I ended up making it look like a gate was open, because there's no gate for your debug fences. But either way, we're finishing up the build and we're getting into the screenshots. And again, I apologize for going off on a rant. My bad. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's build, and let me know if you end up downloading this off the gallery. Leave a comment below or leave a comment on the gallery build. And yeah, like I said earlier, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell while you're at it too, so you're aware of when I upload in the future. And I hope to see you guys in a future build. Bye. Fun fact about today's video, I have recorded my voiceovers in several different areas of my home. I've recorded in my closet, I've recorded in my car, like outside my home, I've recorded in our guest bedroom, just depending on what's going on, what kind of noises. And today I've done something a bit different. I am in our other closet, which is where we keep it's like storage, and we keep our cat litter box in here. And my cat just walked in here. He's sniffing the mic, and I really hope he's not coming in here to take a shit, because it already smells really bad in here. So yeah, that's what we're up to today. It's just there's lots going on outside. There's birds, there's sprinklers, there's dogs, and it blows my mind because it's 6 a.m. So what are we doing?